Good morning, Flosstube. This is Melanie, aka the Soulful Stitcher, coming at you with my first Flosstube of 2024. So I want to, one, thank all of my returning viewers so much for coming back to see me, sticking around, and staying subscribed. Even though I don't make a video every week or every couple weeks, it's every 3 or 4 months. So I want to thank you so much for, sticking beside me. And then to all the new viewers, if you found my channel, welcome. This is a channel about cross stitch where I share my love for cross stitch. So if that's something that you're interested in, stick around and see what I've got going on. So it's been a minute. The last time I filmed was November 18th of 2023. And so, like I said in the initial statement, that I'm back for my first video of 2024. And so, quick life update. My family's doing great. I haven't talked to you guys since my son achieved his goal of becoming a licensed CPA. So he is fully legally licensed and ready to go. I'm so proud of him. His birthday is on Monday the 26th, and he's celebrating his birthday this weekend. So I'm just, I just want to say how much I'm so proud of him and all of his accomplishments. If you've been with me for a while, you know my son has been on a journey just to become a successful young black man in America, just doing what needs to be done, grinding it out, working hard, and I'm just so proud of him. As far as my family, my wife, we're all doing great. We're just working and, just being productive citizens, just trying to take it day by day. And so there's really nothing to tell, just doing good. I do have a bit, but not a whole lot to share because one of the things that has been going on is when I pick up a project, I've been working on it for like 3 or 4 weeks at a time. So I haven't been like whip, whip, whip. It's been working on this whip for a significant amount of time. Then I'll choose another whip and work on that for a significant amount of time. So I do have some whips to share, just not 30 of them or 40 of them yet. So as you guys know, that I'm on this journey called 50 Countdown to 50, where my 50th birthday is in 2027. So I will be working on 50 projects for the next 3 years, trying to either get half of them finished or get all of them finished. So I'm on target. Today, we've got 2 finishes. That's right, your girl has finishes. Can you believe it? We have 2 finishes. We have some whips and we have some haul. So like I said, this is not going to be a super long video. So let's dive in and go ahead and get started. So I will start with my finishes first. So the first finish that I have, and these are finishes of 2024. Yes, these are finishes of 2024. No, one is 2023 and one is 2024. So the first finish that I have that I know was 2024 comes from this book called Honeysuckle Manor by Blackbird Designs. And it has a beautiful design. It has a lot of beautiful designs, but the design that I worked on is called Margaret Harris 1877. So I did this project with all of the called for Belsois silks, but I did it on an unknown fabric. I'm not sure if it's 46 count or 40 count. And this is what it looks like. And here we go. And I'm sorry that my stuff is not ironed, but you guys know I don't iron. And also, there's going to be some zippering too, so I do apologize about that. Okay, so that was my first finish of 2024. No, they're both of 2024. I I didn't complete this next finish by Christmas. So this is a 2024 finish too. And this one comes from a company that we love, that a lot of us love. Some of you may not know about, but they are called Soda Stitch. And this design is called Winter Village. And this is what it looks like. And I did this with all of the called for. It called for 18 count Dirty Ada and DMC. And this is what this looks like. Let's see here. So we'll just kind of scroll up, excuse me. And that is my finish. So, one of the things that has happened with me getting a couple finishes so far this year has really put a fire underneath of me to get more finishes. I'm definitely a process stitcher, so I don't get upset or anything like that if I don't get finishes. But I do want to get quite a few, especially since I'm on this journey with Countdown to 50. So now what we'll do is we'll move into the whips category and show you what I have been working on. So first up is Needleworker Sampler by Brenda Gervais, or With Thy Needle and Thread. Okay. And I'm doing this with not all of the called for, with the called for threads, but my linen is a mystery linen. I don't know. I can't remember which linen this is. I know it's a 46 count, and this is where I'm at. I'm changing the little guy to a person of color, African American. I still got to fill in the house and do some more, but that's where I'm at. So that's one whip. Okay. The next whip that I worked on and this is Coming to America by, again, Brenda Gervais, or With Thy Needle and Thread. And I'm using the Vicki Clayton Silk Pack for this. And I'm using the called for 40 count Vintage Country Mocha. And this is how far I've gotten. Not that far. Okay. I definitely need to put some more work into that, for real. Now this one right here is a pain in my tush. Let me tell you. It's not because it's a bad design or anything like that. It's just, you know how when you get a pattern, it has the grayed out portion on like the next page, so that way you don't restitch what you've already stitched, so it'll gray out. Well, this particular design does not have that. And so I have to line everything up with it being on a separate page. So I printed it out, right? It's really weird. I made photocopies of the patterns so I could line them up and tape them together and just go on about my business. However, when I photocopied them and I'm trying to line them up, they're not lining up correctly, and I don't know what I'm doing. I know how to work a printer. I know how to work this pattern, so I know I'm not unintelligent to where I can't do it. I just don't know what I'm doing wrong, or if it's not me and there's something going on with the pattern itself. I don't know. But I'm talking about Let Love Rain by Teresa Kogut. And I know you guys have seen this, but let me show you a picture of the whole design. This is going to be so beautiful. But I think one of the reasons why I'm stalling on this, let me get the pattern out the camera, is because of the fact that I'm having a hard time lining it up and seeing, you know, what needs to be stitched next and all of that. But I'm not going to give up on it. And I'm using the Vicky Clayton silks on this. And the fabric that I am using is by Hollis Hands Creates. And it's 46 count cream and sugar. Okay. So this is where I'm at on that. See, like you have the border. And I know I'm not the only one struggling with this. But I have seen some people finish it, you know. And I'm like, if they can figure it out, I know that I can figure it out too. So I just have to take my time and all of that, and figured out the border and what was stitched and what wasn't stitched and all of that. The next design, I haven't worked on this, but since I put it in the pile, I'll show it to you. This is Sampler by Scarlet House. And I'm using all of the called for, except for the fabric. I'm using all of the called for threads. The linen is 40 count honey butter, and that is by Teresa Vanette Kitten Stitcher. And this is where I've gotten on this. And I definitely need to get back to this because I really like it. And that's where I'm at. Okay. And my last whip that I have been working on is one that I started over. I started it over because I'm using the Vicky Clayton silks on this. However, I wasn't really in love with the greens that she chose. The greens are a lot lighter than what I would like, and I'll show you what I mean in a second, which is Winter Rose Manor by Brenda Gervais. Everybody has seen this. Everybody loves it. So what I'm going to do is show you the piece that I had initially completed. Not completed because it wasn't finished, but so this is what I had worked on first. This is what I did first. See those greens, just how they look too fluorescent, too light to me. I don't really like that. And then also I had made a mistake up in here somewhere, and then I made a mistake with the fence. So I just felt like I needed to do it over. So I'm much more happier with this one. I started it over. Things are lining up. However, I should have got my board. Okay. So in this case, I used a darker green. But see how I cut this so close to the border? I mean, I'm still going to be able to put the flowers in. I just don't know how I'm going to finish it now because I did cut it so close. I got the bottom done. The berries. Now I'm working up at the top. I got to fill in this border. So, yeah, I'm thinking I should restart this again, but the problem is I am doing something that I rarely do, which is I'm substituting colors in that I think that look good for the way that I want this design to come out in my head. And so those substitution colors I may not have enough of to do it a third time, so I would have to order them. All right, last but not least, one that you guys haven't seen for a while. And this is Santa's Village by Country Cottage Needleworks. And I'm not working on, am I working? No, I'm not. That's number 2. Just bear with me 1 second, guys. I don't want to take all day looking for it. This is what the pattern looks like. It comes in 12 sections. And this is section number 2. I'm actually working on section number 3. But just to give you an idea. Okay. Let's see. Yep, I can get this off. And this is where I'm at. I'm on the third cottage or the third house. Have to finish the border. And I'm doing this on a 32 count vintage country mocha. And those are pretty much all of the whips that I have worked on since November, since you guys have last seen me. Yeah, and then the other thing is I have some projects that I started like on 16 count Ada. And for instance, what I'm talking about is Snow Village by Country Cottage Needleworks, right? I'm doing this on the 16 count Country French Rain that it calls for. Excuse me. The Country French Rain that it calls for. But I'm seriously thinking about a lot of the projects that I have started. A lot of the projects that I'm working on that require me to do 2 threads, I'm thinking about changing the fabric and redoing it to where I work on 1 thread. I really like working on 1 thread. I don't like working with 2 threads. The only project that I will not change is Santa's Village, because that one has buttons that you need to put on there, and the buttons would be too big for a 40 count or 46 count. So I'm not going to change that one. But everything else that I have in my whip basket that requires me to use 2 threads, I think I'm going to change the fabric out and get something else and just stitch it with 1 thread. I love 1-threaded projects. Okay, so that's my haul. That's where I'm at. And now I'm going to show you, that's not my haul. Those are my whips, and that's where I'm at. And now I'm going to get into showing you some haul. I have a new start / haul that I want to show you. And this one was inspired, enabled to me by Candy, the 614 Stitcher, and Carolyn Zook, C-Zook Stitches, or C-Zook Stitch. And that is by Little House Needleworks, and it's called Home of a Needleworker 2. I'm using the called for threads, but I'm stitching this on 20 count oatmeal Ada. And this is where I'm at. Okay. I'm going to work on that one when I get finished this video. So that was a new start, and that was haul. Now, the next one was a Christmas / birthday gift, meaning I got the pattern and the silks for Christmas, and I got the fabric for my birthday. And it's one that I've been really wanting, which is the Feast of Friendship by Blackbird Designs. Everyone has seen that one. And here's the silk pack by Vicki Clayton that I'm going to use. And I am going to be stitching this on 46 count cookie dough. And that is by Hollis Hands Creates. Okay. Next, another one that I've been really wanting. And this one has been inspired by Olivia at Pumpkin Hollow Quilts. And this one was also Christmas / birthday, meaning I got the chart in the silks for Christmas, and then I got the fabric for my birthday. And that is Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain. Those oranges and all of that, I just love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And here's the silk pack for that. And I am going to be stitching that on 46 count paper bark by Fox and Rabbit. Next piece of haul is called Home of a Needleworker Squared by Little House Needleworks. And this comes with all of the called for threads. So I got those, and I'm going to be stitching that on a small piece of oatmeal 20 count Aida. Next up is Little House Needleworks, and it's called Needlework ABCs. And I'm using all of the called for Classic Colorworks threads, and there's a couple DMCs. And I'm going to be stitching that on 20 count Aida as well. You can tell that there's a theme here that I love me some Brenda Gervais, and I love me some Little House Needleworks. One second. I'm going to put this in. Okay. Another piece of haul. This one was inspired by a Flosstuber called Look What's in My Hoop. And she showed this that she's working on. I'm like, man, I have to have that. And this is the Scarlet House, and it's called a sampler for all seasons. And I'm using all of the called for Classic Colorworks for this one. And I am going to be stitching this on a piece of 20 count latte. And last, I went on my birthday to Inspired Needle. I don't know if you know, but Inspired Needle has moved to Palm Coast, Florida. And Palm Coast is about 30 minutes away from me. So on my birthday, I went down to the shop to see Kathy and, see what she had. And this next design was inspired by Emily C., Eclectic Possessions. And she's stitching this, and I've been wanting to stitch this too. So when I saw hers, I was like, yeah, I'm going to get this. And this is Little House Needleworks ABC sampler. And it's all 9 patterns. They go up to Z. And I got all of the called for classic color works for this, and some DMC is required. And I'm going to be stitching that whole thing on 20 count latte too. So, well, that brings us to the end of my video, and I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. And again, I just really appreciate the support. I know that I don't do videos on a constant, but I'm just really grateful and really happy that you guys still stick around and support me despite that. So you guys have a wonderful day. I'm going to get off of here and just enjoy some stitching and enjoy my Sunday before I have to punch that clock on Monday. So you guys have an amazing day, and we will talk again soon. Bye-bye.